Hello and welcome to the FoF Lounge. I am your friendly neighborhood Chuck Charigan, and today we've got joining us the top cats of FoF, the Grand Finalists, are your winners for FoF Series Season 5, the Universal Basic Income. We've got Utility Monster joining us, Civilock, Jeff God Gamer, Arena Thunder, and Freelancer, who are going to be talking to us a little bit about the Grand Finals here and the exciting matchup that it was. So just to hop right in here, let's go ahead and talk about what were your expectations going up against Team Beat Boop. Obviously, it was a series that would a lot faster than I think we expected it to go.
We expected that they would win a lot of the early games because they'd been the best early game team throughout the entire season.
And our early games have not been stellar, to say the least.
Yeah, ours have been hit or miss. Statistically, they weren't that bad, but the eye test said that when they were bad, they were really bad. So we expected that we would, have some minor deficits, and our goal was to minimize the amount we got behind early mostly through draft, just trying to out-prepare as much as possible and get lane matchups that couldn't get buried, and then showcase superior map play and team fighting past the 20-minute mark on the Rift. As it turned out, we were able to do that, but we also didn't lose most of our lanes, so we never had a deficit that we had to come back from at all. And so it ended up being a pretty decisive series, probably partly because our opponents had some circumstances beyond their control. I think their support got COVID and was playing pretty sick, so makes it hard to play when your bot lane that's been getting you lane advantages all season can't, and you're forced to play exclusively through top, and that's a lot easier to shut down as well.
Certainly is. And talk about Red. He's been absolutely gunning for a Grand Finalist victory ever since Season 1 when he was formerly on BBZ. So to see him come out swinging in this was absolutely fantastic. And going up against Jaffe, how did you think he performed there? Because it was honestly a very, very strong performance. And I know that there was some question as to how Jaffe might be, to put it mildly, a little difficult for him to deal with.
I think a lot of that. Yeah, he definitely went even to slightly ahead in lane. A lot of that also came down to the draft. We had quite a bit of planning going into how to slow down Jaffe because he has throughout the season been really strong in lane. So the Shen pick that we came up with in game 1 was sort of something that we didn't think Jaffe could easily deal with. And then when they tried to take it away from us in game 2, we had a pick for that ready as well. And so that was definitely a big help to sort of get the series off to a good start around the Shen pick.
And regarding that Shen pick, I know that you had to deal with getting yourself banned out like immediately. They were just absolutely refusing to let you get on Nocturne or Zac throughout this entire series.
Yeah, Dax has been traumatized by my Zac ever since I beat him in Season 3 finals, so I don't think I'm ever going to get to play it against him ever again. Yeah,
and mentioning Dax, MVP of the jungle, going into this series, and just honestly, both of you guys, both your teams, Team Beat Boop and YUBI Universal Basic Income, both had a massive number of people who made the MVP top 3 at the very least, which you kind of expect for the Grand Finals. Are there any thoughts that you might have on just who was selected for those MVP votes?
I can't believe I'm once again not the best mid laner in Heroic League, and I'm pretty sure it'll never happen now. I'm just too much of a role player. No one can appreciate my massive champion Ocean. They're just like, look at him, he misses anti-ultimate, he can't be good. Which I will say, true.
Yeah, I've actually seen the MVP votes. I was tallying those behind the scenes a little bit, so everyone saw the results, but I know the margins, and I think the margins reflected the reality of the situation pretty well. The top lane was very close between Jaffe and Red in 1 and 2, and I think that's fair. I think they were head and shoulders above everyone else in the league. Red ended up taking it, which I think makes sense. He was on a team that finished with a better record, but Jaffe is also incredibly good. Jungle was between Dax and Leaves. They only 1 point separated them for MVP and only 2 points in the actual jungle specific category, and I think that's also pretty fair. Leaves is the better individual player, and Dax is I think people are weighing his ability to shot call for his team and sort of do a lot of behind the scenes stuff for Baby. That helped them out a little bit. So definitely both very solid players. Mid lane was not close. Maziza was clearly the best mechanical mid laner in the tournament.
Unfortunately, he only plays 5 champions.
Yeah. Clovis was pretty clearly second, and third was actually very close. P. Sweezy got it, but he just barely edged out Cubes, Wednesday, and Seaborg, all of whom were taking votes. So I think that is pretty accurate. Mid lane was very close among several players who were all quite good. AD carry was Luru clear third with Jeff and Escape 1-2. Escape ended up taking it because he had some nice solo carry performances that Jeff was just unable to put up.
There was also some manipulation going on behind the scenes with some teams perhaps skewing votes in favor, which I've already aired my grievances out with them. But I do think in terms of value to the team, Escape brings a lot sort of in the skill category. Ball, and he is like the only player that consistently like. I'd feel like I'd lose really hard to in lane, because normally in lane I'm down like 10 CS and it's like whatever, I'm still gonna smash them in team fights. But yeah, Escape is like he's really good in lane. So
yeah, the truth comes out. We took Brian away from you. We can see your true colors, Jeff. We gave you your chance to earn AD carry MVP without Brian could do it. So
yeah, there may have been some minor forgetting of Jeff existing on the RLS ballots, but that notwithstanding, Escape to take on the AD carry MVP, and then support I think was only 1 point difference between Antunes and Bob Joseph. I think that's also very fair. They were both clearly the best 2 supports in the league, both in lane and roaming. Overall, I think that the margins really reflected the closeness of a lot of the races, as well as the actual final vote did.
And talking about how close everything was for Universal Basic Income, what was your secret, you think, to overcoming Team Beat Boop, and actually like during your training, I'm guessing in the background on the Universal Basic Income server, was it perhaps Arena being the secret goat in the background?
Not really. I have always, for all the seasons of FoF, have told the members of UB that I am really in the direst of emergencies just due to my current real life situation. And so I wasn't really that involved. The most thing I usually did was congratulate them afterwards with some smart quip about whatever champion they played. And so I supported mostly from the behind the scenes of just watching and being their like little hype person.
I do want to add, like, typically when we're practicing and like someone's not available, which, you know, it's very hard to get like a group of 5 adults to have schedules lining up, especially across multiple time zones and different life stages. And Irina was always down to like step in and be like, yeah, sure, I'll play top lane today. Give me Maokai or Shen, and I'll do my best. So even though we didn't specifically get a lot of practice as a group in 5s, like we always played together, like very, very often. It always helps us improve as players.
Yeah, I was the mediocre versions of Red, Civilock, and Jeff the God Gamer all the time. It was great.
UB definitely seems like it's a pretty tight-knit group, which makes me kind of wonder, because I know that you've mentioned that we probably won't see this roster specifically of Universal Basic Income in the future. So I'm kind of wondering what exactly is next for you guys as a group.
I don't think we're entirely sure just yet. We've heard some behind-the-scenes rumblings of perhaps changing the eligibility requirements for next season. As it stands, Jeff just hit Diamond, so he wouldn't be eligible to play again. And Red, regardless of what happens, will be retiring from FoF for real this time, as he has to go back to in-person work and won't be able to make the early games as often. So those are 2 changes happening for sure. And then Bill the Pony, I don't think will be back with UB for support. Just depending on how the league format works out to change. I don't think it'll be as good of a fit, but yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to come back. I think Civilock's planning to come back, and I think Freelancer is at least going to be a sub, and same with Arena Thunder. I think they'll both be at least subs going forward, if not starters again. So definitely we'll be back in some capacity. It just won't be exactly the same.
Okay, so it won't be that drastic.
For both, you know, the current rule set as well as the potential new rule set, I think we've been talking about potential rosters and who wants to play and who is available to play. But I think all of us will be around in the community even if we're not playing. I know I don't really plan to leave the community even if I'm not playing, so all of us will be around in some way or another.
Well, obviously, it's going to be really, really exciting to see what form YUBI takes in the future. And I guess now is a good time to mention that I can officially announce that there will be a Friend or Foe series season 6. We're not exactly sure on the dates and the specifics of that nature, but we do know that there will be another one-off tournament between now and then. So that'll be something to keep an eye out for. Although I do have this question that's been kind of niggling me in the back of my mind. I was wondering, what do you guys think would be some really fun games that we could bring up for just Friend or Foe competitions, just kind of as a general thing?
I know Escape was memeing about it, but I think it'd be really funny to see Friend or Fortnite Battle Royale series. So we'll have to see what the staff wants to do in the future, but I do think it is cool that FF wants to expand. I like Utility Monster said, due to like our schedules, we don't play a lot of other games, especially like competitive games. But I'm still excited to see what FF has in store.
I would love to see an RTS title. I mean, I think StarCraft 2, most competitive 1 versus 1 game.
Well, that's the most
traditional. I've also playing Age of Empires 4, and I currently haven't had motivation to play the game seriously, but I would love to actually try to play competitively. Mostly, I just want to subject whoever's casting to my sick 8-minute RAM rush every single game. Because I think it's really funny.
It is unavoidable.
And you know, there's other players in FF. They do play like a wide variety of games. I think RLS coming in to host like a fighting game tournament would be fun, or any other teams bringing a lot of their like expertise and coming from like other games would be super cool.
We should have a competitive visual novel speedrunning.
Look, Ace Attorney, the entire collection speedrun.
That'd be a great category.
You think some casual TFTs would be cool too? Not gonna
That
lie.
would be pretty fun.
Or serious
Especially, like,
TFTs,
double
sweaty
ups.
TFTs.
True. You know, okay, so that's pretty much all I had for this episode of The Lounge. I really didn't have too much, considering it's kind of like, it's the last one, so just kind of wrapping things up here. Before I let y'all go, though, was there anything anyone wanted to say to regards, like, just kind of close out the season?
Yeah. I guess now that we've won for the 3rd time, it really takes me back to season 3 and season 4 and how exciting it was to win championships. I think going into season 5, I had a little bit of uncertainty whether I wanted to play again, and you know, it felt kind of bad. You know, like YUBI just keeps winning. Maybe it's kind of lame to keep coming back. But you know, after this time winning the finals 3-0 again for the 3rd time, I kind of feel like I've gone full circle. We're back at the opposite direction, where you know, YUBI's now the final boss of FoF. You have to beat YUBI to make it to. They're the last gym leader before you can make it to the Elite Four. You know, so I'm really just want to see what other teams can pull out this season. Maybe make us sweat a little bit, and maybe even make us play more than 3 games in the finals. So I feel like we're just this undead lich, you know, need another team to finally put us out of our misery so we can finally retire on a not 3-0 clean sweep finals. So that's my challenge for the rest of the FoF community. You guys gotta step it up, make us sweat a little bit more, make us work for it, make us lose some games.
All right, and I think that's a perfect note to leave things off. So we're going to go ahead and close it out here. One last thing before we do. Friend or Foe is actually looking for volunteers, so if you're interested, drop by the Discord, message an admin, let them know. Jeff, I know, has mentioned that Ruby makes some fire, absolutely fire video. So, you know, if you're watching this, Ruby, definitely should be checking this out. With that, though, we're going to go ahead and close it out here. Want to give a great thanks to our sponsors, Adobe Creative Cloud, Logitech Gaming, of course, the Academy of Art, and ProComps, which if you use FOE25 as your promo code, you'll get a pretty nice little discount there. So remember, folks, we would love having you all for here for Friend or Foe Series Season 5. Keep an eye out for announcements for Friend or Foe Season 6. for the chess tournament that's going to be coming up here, and for other future friend or foe related events. Keep an eye on that Discord. And as always, we will see you on the Rift.